Right guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm at Warhammer World and I'm playing David. David's been a long time follower of the channel and it's a pleasure to finally meet him. And the Mechanicum are taking on his Tau. He has brought the cheese. I did tell him to bring it, so if I get annihilated it's my own fault. So, you may remember last time that a small strike force of Tau and the Mechanicum faced off and there was a lot of brutality, an incredible amount of damage done by each force. It's been a few weeks since the last clashed. They've all pulled back and retreated, licking the wounds, repairing the machines, and both armies have now come together in an escalation clash. So the game today is escalation. We've got 6 objectives. We've got number 6 there, number 2, number 4. We've got 1 in there, don't remember which one that is. We've got number 5 here and number 1 here. So like I said, it is escalation. It's dawn of war deployment. Let's have a quick look through the armies. What I've got is I've got a unit of 9 rangers running the war convocation. As you've normally seen, I had to drop 1 ranger in order to get the extra things in that I wanted. So there's 2 arc rifles, Auspex. The Alpha has an arc pistol, an arc maul, conversion field, and I think it's digital weapons, basically the way I normally run them. We've got 3 haywire breaches, arc rifles. We've got the rust stalkers here. I didn't scout them forward. I just want to try and keep them out of the way. There's not too much terrain for us to hide in. We've got the destroyers with the heavy grav. The Dominus at the front. His warlord trait means that any canticles that I use, his unit count them as being the maximum 1. We've got the Castellans with dual heavy phosphor blasters, but most importantly we have 3 onagers with neutron lasers slap bang in the center to potentially draw a lot of firepower. With it will not die. Hopefully they will be doing a lot of damage. The infiltrators are keeping back in the cover, and we've got a Crusader again. Hopefully that Gatling cannon combined with the Castellan should be able to bring down some of the bigger stuff that David has brought. On this flank here we've got the Iridium Giselle Dragoon. I'm running that one instead. I had to drop the other one for the point in order to get the 3rd onager in, and we've got a unit of 10 Vanguard with 3 plasma. The Alpha has the arc rifle and arc maul as well. Let's quickly go through David's army then.
Right, first of all I've got a hammerhead with a solid heavy rail shot. I've got the Storm Surge. He's got the multiple strength weapon with the air fragmentation. I've got 4 Marker Light drones in my auxiliary choice for the formation. I've got 5 Pathfinders with carbines and markers. I have a Riptide with an ion accelerator. He has the smart missile systems as well, Feel No Pain and 5+ Invulnerable. Inside there I have 2 squads of Fire Warriors, 10 man with EMP grenades, and one has a DS drone, which is a missile drone. I have 5 Fire Warriors, just bare bones. I have 2 broadsides with 2 Strength 8 AP1 rail guns, 1 plasma twin linked on one of them, and the other one's got smart missiles twin linked. Both have shield generators. In reserve I have a commander with 2 single fusions, Feel No Pain, shield generator, 2 bodyguards with fusion guns and plasma with shields, and a Ghost Keel with the fusion blaster melter and twin fusion.
Right, so as it stands, David has turn 1. He's set up and deployed first. Are you going first? Yeah, so unless Arton sees, I'm going to take a lot of hurt on this first turn. So I'm going to use one of David's dice. How embarrassing would this be if I did it? Right, so me and Dave did agree that that was a seize. Obviously cocked dice. it's very unsure, so we basically D2'd it and it went in my favour. So for objective 1, I've drew secure objective 6, and I've only used re-rolls to hit in the shooting phase for Canticles of the Omnissiah. So hopefully we can do a lot of damage. Let's have a look at the movement. Right, so the Rangers did get a 6-inch move through cover. Obviously the terrain, quite difficult to get them in there, so although they are on the top, we are treating them as being on the next level down. They're just there to represent where they actually are. We've got the breaches pulling sideways, looking to hopefully get some shots in on that hammerhead maybe and do some damage there. The destroyers we've left where they are. The rust stalkers have jumped into line of sight, and even I can't see them there. The castellans pushed forward into the trees, so they're still going to get the cover save, but they are looking at that storm surge. We are going to be within range. We are going to be doing some damage. I think I'm going to fire them last though, because I've got the battle cannon on the knight as well as the Gatling cannon to go as well. So we'll see. I need to get rid of his marker light. The onagers have pushed forward, just generate a little bit of backspace. Maybe we can tempt his commander in. The infiltrators are holding back. If he drops the commander in, I'm hoping to keep the infiltrators and the rust stalkers back to be able to do some damage there. Over this side, I only got a 4-inch move through cover for the Vanguard, unfortunately, so I'm not within 18 inches of them Pathfinders over there. Not what I wanted. I needed a bit bigger move through cover, unfortunately. And the Dune Strider, he sacrificed his shooting to be able to grab that objective. Obviously Crusader and Dune Strider allowing him to get there quite easily indeed. So that is it for movement. Let's see what damage we can do in the shooting phase. Alright, so we had a look carefully, and 4 Rangers with our galvanic rifles could see the storm surge, but unfortunately no damage at all was done to it from them. Down here, the breaches shot round, and despite re-rolling the hit with 6 shots, I only got a single hit. David did elect to jink on the hammerhead though, and he passed his jink save on the 1 glance I managed to get. Meanwhile, combined fire from the Gatling cannon on the knight, as well as all the grab here from the destroyers. The destroyers, unfortunately, just out of range of that Riptide to do any damage, went for Storm Surge. The Storm Surge is left on 3 hull points, 3 wounds, and that also was contributed to by the Castellans as well. So not too shabby at all. The heavy stubbers, then the missile launcher from the knight, managed to get rid of 3 Pathfinders, 2 rather, and then the neutron lasers from the Onagas. I had to get rid of his marker lights, had to. I managed to kill 3 of the drones and another one of the Pathfinders. I unfortunately did the shooting back to front. I should have shot the heavy stubbers first, because it meant that the heavy stubbers were out of range afterwards. The Pathfinders have failed the morale, but the drone is standing where he is. Across this side, in the ruins, both Fire Warrior squads and the Pathfinder team on the top have taken casualties from the rapid fire battle cannon. The guys on the bottom losing 3, these guys losing 4 or 5 I think, and these losing 2. These ones failed the morale and they've ran back 3 inches, so they are literally just underneath there. Again, just leaving them where they are on the top for ease. And unfortunately, because the Vanguard only got a 4-inch move through cover or difficult terrain, we're just an inch shy of being able to shoot at these. We really needed to take these guys out. So as it stands, I don't score first blood, but I do score objective 6. So the score at the end of turn 1 is 1 to the Mechanicum. And moving into Tau turn 1, I'm expecting something brutal to come back and something very hard hitting indeed. Right, Tau turn 1, David has drawn Big Game Hunter. Shouldn't be too hard for him to get it all, and considering I didn't get first blood, he's probably going to be able to do this. So let's have a look at the movement. First of all, Storm Surge has dropped his anchors. The Pathfinder team here have rallied, and the drone has pulled sideways as well. He's hoping probably to get some shots in over there. Maybe get some marker lights and start taking out something with the Storm Surge. The Riptide, he's pulled back ever so slightly, and he's used his ion accelerator. He hasn't taken any wounds. He's got 3+ in run until next turn, which isn't good for me. These Pathfinders have rallied and moved back up onto the top of the building, granting them their 3-inch move. These guys have pushed forward again, probably looking to maybe start eating away at the vanguard in the background, or the Dune Strider there. Meanwhile, these guys have stayed still. I think it's pretty certain that I'm going to lose this. Potentially though, is he going for the D missiles to take out the Knight? We'll have to see. Right, so David's retaliation has been strong, but still nobody has scored first blood. It's back and forth between two of the shootiest armies in the game, the Tau and the Mechanicum, trying to show each other what they are made of in the shooting phase. So the Fire Warriors here, as well as the both squads of Fire Warriors and the drone, all shot at the Dune Strider there, the Dragoon, and managed to get a single glance through. They had +1 ballistic skill due to the formation, and as a result, David even tried to get the broadsides to take out the Dragoon as well, hopefully scoring first blood and big game hunter, but to no avail on this flank. Meanwhile, the Riptide shot its large blast all the way across, scattered way back off the destroyers. He knows that's the only thing that can really damage that Riptide. Scattered backwards, only clipping one of the destroyers, but I managed to pass my forward cover save. Meanwhile, the Castellans and the Knight took fire from the Riptide. The anchors were deployed. Riptide, Storm Surge. The Strength D missiles, David managed to get 3 marker lights on the Knight, and got 2 hits with the Strength D and rolled a double D3. I filled both me in buns, and as you can see, stripped him of 3 hull points. The Snapfire and Hammerhead even managed to get a hit, but I managed to pass me in bun with the penny generated there. The Strength 9 gun from the Storm Surge coming in at the Castellans, and we managed to pass 3 feel no pains on the 4 wounds David inflicted. None of the shots were bounced back with the in-bun. Unfortunately, we did fail them all. 4d6 shots went for the destroyers and the Dominus. The Dominus doing what he does and tanking all of those wounds coming in. So that was it. Not too eventful at all. Only 2 hull points and wounds dished out between the infantry, and 3 on the Knight. The 3 on the Knight proving devastating. We need to get rid of them mark lights in our turn. So as it stands, the Tau don't score any points. However, they are proven very difficult and very effective at shooting back. So let's move into Mechanicum turn 2. Right, so Mechanicum turn 2, we have drawn Kingslayer and Hungry for Glory. Both of them impossible for us this turn due to the commander being off the board. As a result, I'm going to use Benediction of the Omniscience to reroll hits again, see if we can take out quite a lot of the Tau before the commander and that Ghost Keel turns up. So the Rangers got a 6-inch move through cover, so they've now moved up to the top level and looking to drop the Haywire arc rifles on that Hammerhead back there. The Castellans are pushing forward, looking to start eating into the Storm Surge around the side, hopefully between, well, if they take them out, and the destroyers will hopefully be able to start focusing on the other flanks. The destroyers, unfortunately, are actually only going to be able to really target that Storm Surge, and then the Castellans might be able to see. No, the Riptide, sorry, jetpacked out the way, hiding like a pansy. The Knight are pulled sideways, and the Ruststalkers have pulled just back. The Onagers, meanwhile, have got broadsides in their sight. Over this side though, the Rangers, I was hoping to get the plasma within range, but even with a 6-inch move, I wasn't able to get within range of that Riptide. I still need to move the Dragoon though. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some damage. Right, so it looks as though the Mechanicum are striking back hard. The breaches down here shot the arc rifles through at the Hammerhead. David electing to jink and managed to pass his cover save, but only took a single glance from the hits. Meanwhile, the Rangers took aim with the arc rifles, managed to get 2 hits, 2 glances, and because of the -1 cover, because of the Auspex, Dave unfortunately failed his jinx, so the Hammerhead is wrecked. Meanwhile, on this flank, I made a bit of a mistake. Rather than going for these guys here, I shot the middle Fire Warrior squad there. I wanted rid of them, But then I remembered about the battle cannon from the night. So although we killed some from the middle squad, the battle cannon has actually killed most of the bottom squad, 2 pathfinders as well, and there's a lone pathfinder hiding in the bottom floor just over there as he failed his morale check and has ran back. Meanwhile, the Onaga Dune crawlers over here got 2 wounds on the broadsides. They're passing one of his in-runs, but then the other one fleeing from the battle, terrified of the firepower that's coming in. Meanwhile, the grav guns, the heavy grav cannons on the destroyers shot across at the storm surge. David passed all of his in-runs, the Gatling cannon and the missile launcher from the night, doing 2 wounds, and in the end it was left on 1. It was left to the job of the Castellans, and we managed to get 3 wounds in on him, and Dave unfortunately failed one of his feel no pains, bringing the storm surge crashing to the ground. So that is it for Mechanicum turn 2. It's been very, very brutal. However, David's reserves are probably going to be turning up, probably going to be doing a lot of damage. Let's have a look and see what cards he scores. Right, Tau turn 2. Dave still has Big Game Hunter, and he's drew secure objective 4, which the Rangers are on. And the Commander and the Ghost Keel have seen the loss of the Storm Surge, and they are coming in to deal some serious punishment back. So the Commander himself has landed. He's angry, the Storm Surge has been cut down, and the Suits and the Ghost Keel have all landed and unloaded their fusions into the Onagas. The Onagas, 4 being run due to 3 of them being in the squadron, holding strong. This guy at the front was immobilized and stunned, so the other 2 can leave the squadron now. The Riptide here shooting his large blast and his missile pods into the Castellans hiding out in the trees. The large blast scattering way off, but the missile pods wounding on 6s managed to get a single wound in on the Castellan there. Meanwhile, down here, fire from the fire warriors in the building and the ones that have pushed forward have managed to bring down 2 of the vanguard. And that's pretty much it. Not too much done in the shooting phase. Didn't go too well, but we've got the jetpack moves to go. Where are these guys going to maneuver to? I'm guessing away from the big scaries. Let's see where Dave goes with them. So the card that I've drawn is Secure Objective 2, which is deep in David's deployment zone. For Canticles of the Omnissiah, I've used Chant of the Remorseless Fist, allowing me to reroll hits in combat, and I've used +1 weapon skill. I've got a plan to hopefully get Kingslayer and Hungry for Glory. It's going to be difficult, but I reckon hopefully we can at least get Hungry for Glory. Right, so the Breach is just pushing forward, looking to hopefully take out the Fire Warriors there. The Pathfinders even. The Castellans, I've just moved them around, maybe try and get rid of the Fire Warriors at this side, or maybe that last marker drawn. The Destroyers, got nothing else to shoot at, so I'm going to go for the Ghost Keel. They're now just within range. Yeah, David's probably going to make me snap fire at them, but it's worth a shot, isn't it? Neutron lasers and heavy stubbers, looking to try and get rid of this side so that we can then focus fire over here. The Knight, of course, going to be directing his firepower this way. The Infiltrators moving forward, probably going to end up charging them here after I charge in the Dragoon. The Dragoon will probably, or hopefully, eat the Overwatch. And thankfully the Infiltrators can't actually be seen by the Ghost Keel due to where they are. Meanwhile, the plasma and the cancer carbines, I'm going to start unloading into the Riptide, potentially them. We've then still got the stunned Onaga here, probably snapfire the heavy stubbers into the Ghost Keel to help out those destroyers. As they are out of range of the Riptides still, Dave holding them really far back out of range. So let's see what damage we can do in the shooting phase. What a retaliation of a shooting phase by the Mechanicum. The destroyers here elected to shoot at the Ghost Keel. David forced me to snapfire, and despite getting 2 hits, I failed to wound. We used majority armor save of 4+ because of the drones. Down here, the arc rifles managed to kill 1 of the Pathfinders, and in the end it was the neutron lasers and the heavy stubbers from the 2 Onaga back here that managed to bring both the drone and the Pathfinder down. Fire from the Castellans came in, killing a couple of fire warriors in the ruins here. Lumigen coming into effect, so that wasn't too bad. We snap fired the heavy stubbers here into the Ghost Keel, again failing to do anything. Meanwhile, down here, the cancer carbines and the plasma from the Vanguard, along with the Gatling cannon from the Imperial Knight, has brought the Riptide down to 2 wounds, just 2. The stub carbines from the infiltrators doing a lot more work than what I expected, and managed to actually bring a battlesuit to his knees in front of the commander. The Radium Giselle here also getting a shot, failing to wound. We also unloaded the heavy stubbers from the Knight, as well as the missile pod and the battle cannon, with the commander being toughness 5, 2 up armor, tanking everything. So that was it for the shooting phase. This guy is going to charge in first to eat the overwatch from him, and then these guys are going to charge. David's not going to be able to overwatch because the Ghost Keel can't be seen, so hopefully that will get me issue of the challenge. I don't think I'm going to get Slay the Warlord, but we will see. Wow, what a combat phase indeed. The Dragoon charged in first to try and eat the overwatch. David unfortunately not getting any hits, despite the Ghost Keel even support fire and the fire warriors at the back. The infiltrators then charged in, and the Princeps issued a challenge, bringing the commander down to initiative 2 due to them granting -1 initiative. And believe it or not, I actually got a wound through with the phase taser, and unfortunately David failed his initiative test. He needed a 1, again due to the infiltrators -1 to their initiative, and the other 4 guys managed to take out the battlesuit with the power swords there. So they've consolidated back 4 inches, the Dragoon 2 inches to the side. Alright, so just looking at the cards, I've managed to get Kingslayer. I issued a challenge so I get Hungry for Glory, but I don't secure objective 2. So I've got a secure objective 6 plus First Blood plus Slay the Warlord, puts me at 3. 4 for Hungry for Glory plus D3 for Kingslayer for 2 more points. Right, so Tower turn 3, David has drawn Big Game Hunter still. He's probably going to go after that lone onager with 1 hull point. He's got feigned withdrawal, so he has to kill something that's within 9 inches of one of his models. And he's also drew behind enemy lines. That one might be difficult to get. Right, so what he's done is the Riptide unloaded everything into the Vanguard down there, as did the Fire Warriors here, and unfortunately only 1 Vanguard is left. I think David was hoping to get firm withdrawal with that one, but that guy has passed his leadership test. Meanwhile, over this side, the Ghost Keel with the fusions managed to kill this onager here, not exploding however, but also doing damage to this one with a blast. The blast did land back here, but obviously as they're a unit it goes on the closest. So this one unfortunately has lost its manipulator, so it's not going to be at strength 10 in combat, and it's lost it will not die. So yeah, the Fire Warriors that's left in here and the drone shot through as well, trying to support in taking out this Vanguard. So all in all, although David didn't have much to fire, he's done a lot of damage indeed. So we've got a couple of jetpack moves to make, see whether or not he's going to go for behind enemy lines. Right, so Dave does score feigned withdrawal and Big Game Hunter for 2 points. He's elected to discard secure objective number 4. Right, so cards for the Admech. We've drew Overwhelming Firepower, Assassinate, Secure 4 and Secure 2. So let's have a look at what the plan is. The Rangers up here are going to stay securing Objective 4, whilst the Castellans down here are making a move for securing Objective 2 in the building. The Dragoon is going to be charging at the Ghost Keel, as are the Infiltrators and the Rust Stalkers. See if we can get that nice combo off against them. The Neutron Lasers from the Onagas potentially taking out the Riptide or maybe the Fire Warriors. The Knight is going to lend support and fire as well. Right, so even with -1 to ballistic skill, the Skitarii have made their mark on this world. The Plasma not getting any wounds in on the Riptide. Meanwhile, the Heavy Stubbers and the Battle Cannon from the Knight managed to take out all the Fire Warriors. The Gatling Cannon, unfortunately, again didn't do any damage to the Riptide, and the Missile Pod not doing any damage to the Ghost Keel. The Radium Giselle from the Dragoon, again not doing any damage at all. The Stub Carbines from the Infiltrators managed to bring a single drone to the ground, but then it was the job of the Neutron Lasers and Heavy Stubbers, the Heavy Phosphor Blasters, the Arc Rifles, all pounded into the Riptide. His armour staying strong and only taking a single wound. Meanwhile, one drone, like I said, cut down from the Stub Carbines, even the Grav Destroyers pumped into it. So that's pretty much going to be the shooting phase. We've got combat to do though. The Dragoon is going to charge in, followed by the Infiltrators and the Rust Stalkers. Right, and with that, the Infiltrators and the Rust Stalkers and the Dragoon charge the Ghost Keel. The Transonic Razors and the Power Swords on the Infiltrators, combined with the minus weapon skill, me wounding everything on 2s. Unfortunately, the Ghost Keel's armour and invulnerable saves caved to the sheer weight of numbers of attacks coming in. So we've decided to call the game there. David has a Riptide on 1 hull point, a lone Fire Warrior and a drone under here. We've discussed quite a lot of the game afterwards, and we both agreed that whoever had that first turn was going to have the killing power to dominate the board. There was definitely a lot of damage output from the Tau, but I think David losing the Marker Lights and me targeting them straight away on the first turn definitely swung the game in the favour of the Admech. So it's been a really fun day so far. We're going to go and look around the exhibition, and we're going to be having another game tomorrow. But big thanks to David for all the support he's given us over the last year, and a massive thanks to him for coming up to Warhammer World down to me and playing against us. So with that, the Mechanicum drive the Tau from this planet. Who else is going to threaten the planet, and who will the Mechanicum have to defend against next?